In Nigeria, fame can come in the blink of an eye, or, in this case, the closing of one. While some celebrities spend years hustling for recognition, others gain legendary status only after they've taken their final bow. It's almost as if Nigerians have a special talent for celebrating people more in death than in life. So click on the like button to like this video as we look into Nollywood actors whose deaths made them popular. Sam Obiago. Sam Obiago was one of those Nollywood actors you saw in almost every epic movie, but somehow never really talked about until his death made him popular. If you watched Nollywood, you knew his face, even if you didn't always remember his name. His deep voice carried the weight of ancestral wisdom, and that signature red chieftaincy cap. But like many great actors, it wasn't his years of work that made him a household name. It was his passing that turned him into a Nollywood legend overnight. When Sam Obiago died in 2021, Nigerians did what they do best: celebrate someone more in death than in life. Suddenly, everyone knew his name. His old movie clips flooded WhatsApp statuses, Facebook uncles started posting emotional tributes, and Twitter was busy turning his most dramatic dialogues into viral soundbites. The same people who once skipped his movies were now analyzing his roles like they held the secrets to life. Even YouTube algorithms got the memo. His film started trending, and every other comment section was filled with "Rest in peace, legend." While he had always been a respected actor, his death made sure nobody would ever forget him again. By 2024, his name popped up once again more when his son, Shalom Obiago, starred in Christmas in Lagos. That was all Nigerians needed to remember again. His movies resurfaced, his proverbs became Instagram captions, and his dramatic expressions turned into memes. Sam Obiago's fame only grew bigger, proving once again that in Nigeria, some actors don't just leave a legacy, they become even bigger stars after they've gone. If people didn't give you your flowers when you were alive, just wait. Your real fame might begin when your face is on the RIP poster and WhatsApp groups refuse to let you rest. Junior Pope. Junior Pope, a man who acted in over 100 movies, yet it took his death for Nigerians to say, wait, who is this guy again? If there's one thing Nigerians do well, it's giving people their flowers, just not while they are alive. Before his tragic passing in 2024, Junior Pope was one of those actors you'd see in every Asaba Wood action or village movie, playing the fearless hero who could fight 10 men with one hand tied behind his back. But despite his impressive work rates, he wasn't exactly a household name. That is, until he died. But suddenly, everyone had a Junior Pope movie they loved so much, and WhatsApp statuses across Nigeria became free billboards for his memory. His unfortunate death in a boat accident while filming The Other Side of Life sent shockwaves through Nollywood. Now the irony, the movie title sounded like a spoiler for his fate. He and some crew members drowned while returning from a shoot on the River Niger. And just like that, the same Nigerians who probably never watched his movies before were passionately discussing him. The Actors Guild of Nigeria quickly swung into action, suspending the movie's producer, Adama Luke. Of course, Nigerians had already started their own investigation on social media, with many blaming village people while others said Nollywood should stop playing with spiritual things. Conversations about safety in Nollywood sets reignited, but as expected, will probably be forgotten again until another tragedy strikes. At the end of the day, Junior Pope's death did what his career couldn't. It made him famous. Mohbad. In Nigeria, nothing skyrockets your career quite like your obituary, and Mohbad is proof. Before 2023, he was doing well, dropping jams, making street anthems, and gathering loyal fans. But it wasn't until his sudden and mysterious death that he became a national sensation. One minute he was an artist on the rise, the next minute his name was everywhere on t-shirts, billboards, and even candlelight processions that looked like election rallies. Mohbad had hits, no doubt, but let's be honest, some people only truly discovered him after he was gone. The same song they once ignored suddenly became the soundtrack of their lives. His song Egu with Chike, which dropped 2 months after his passing, shot straight to the top of every streaming chart like a Nigerian politician during election season. Even people who never listened to him before were now claiming to be his day one fan, nodding emotionally to his lyrics like they wrote them with him in the studio. Then came the protest. Oh, the protest. Nigerians love a good conspiracy theory, and Mohbad's death gave them plenty to work with. From street rallies to online hashtags, fans demanded justice like they were campaigning for fuel subsidy removal. Accusations flew everywhere, pulling big industry names like Naira Marley into the drama. It was as if Nigeria had turned into a live episode of Crime Watch, with everyone playing detective. In the end, Mohbad became a classic case of a Nigerian celebrity whose death made him more famous than his career ever did. His old songs started topping charts, his fan base multiplied overnight, and suddenly everyone had the Mohbad tribute post on their timeline. It's almost like in Nigeria, your career doesn't reach its peak until you are no longer around to enjoy it. Just like the one village uncle who only gets respect after he's 6 feet under. Ada Jesus. Ada Jesus born Mercy Nesoma Obi Nadi was a Nigerian comedian and skit maker whose death made her more popular than all her years of dragging fake prophets combined. Before 2021, she was making waves but not quite tsunami level. Her comedy was sharper than a tailor who refuses to return your clothes on time. She was the kind of person who would see men of God moving suspiciously and say, "Oya, explain yourself." Whether it was Pastor Dumeja, Rita Etoche, or any spiritual leader that looked like they had something to hide, Ada Jesus had no filter. People had mixed feelings about her. Some saw her as a fearless truth teller, exposing fake miracles like a detective. Others felt she was playing with fire, warning her that her mouth was writing checks her destiny couldn't cash. But Ada Jesus kept going, even when kidney disease started dealing with her the way Lagos last month deals with the unlucky drivers. She didn't stop creating content. Her jokes made you laugh first, then think about your life later. She had a rising fan base, but nothing, absolutely nothing, made her more famous than her death. The moment she passed, Nigerians turned her case into a Netflix documentary. WhatsApp aunties who didn't even know how to use Facebook before were now forwarding voice notes with breaking news about her. Twitter became a courtroom with people debating if her illness was karma or just a regular sickness. Old videos resurfaced, and suddenly Ada Jesus became the most talked about comedian in the country. Some of the same people who ignored her skits while she was alive were now analyzing them like they were reviewing jam-packed questions. In the end, Ada Jesus remains a prime example of the Nigerian celebrity whose death made her popular. While she was alive, she was still hustling for full recognition. But after her passing, she became a legend overnight. It's almost as if in Nigeria, true fame only comes with a candlelight procession and plenty of WhatsApp status updates filled with "gone too soon." Olamide David. Olamide was one of those Nigerian celebrities whose fame arrived fashionably late, by which we mean after his death. While he was alive, he was steadily climbing Nollywood's ladder, delivering solid performances and raking up award nominations. His big break came when he starred in Cobweb, a movie that earned him the Best Male Actor award at the Best of Nollywood Awards in 2015. People saw his potential, they knew he was good, but as usual, Nigerians didn't really pay full attention. Then, like a typical Nollywood's plot twist, tragedy struck and suddenly everyone remembered his name. On January 18, 2016, Olamide was just playing football. A normal day, nothing serious, but life had other plans. One fatal injury later, he was rushed to Ikeja General Hospital, and before anyone could say give him glucose, he was gone. Nigerians, of course, refused to believe it was just football wahala. Some swore it was the work of village people who had been monitoring his destiny. Others blamed Nollywood's infamous mystery deaths because in Nigeria, if you rise too fast, people will start asking, who did he offend? And then there were those who said if he had just stayed at home watching Super Story, none of this would have happened. At just 15 years old, Olamide's promising future was cut short, but in typical fashion, that's when his popularity exploded. Clips of his performances started making the rounds. People who barely knew him started calling him legend, and Nollywood blogs that had never posted his achievements while he was alive suddenly couldn't get enough of him. His name became a topic of national discourse, proving yet again that in Nigeria, death is the fastest way to trend. Rico Suave. Rico, the Nigerian celebrity whose death turned him into a superstar. If only he had known that all it took to trend was to, well, exit the group charts permanently. Before his tragic accident in 2022, Rico was a Big Brother Naija Season 3 housemate and an upcoming musician. But let's be honest, after the show ended, his name wasn't exactly ringing bells like some of his fellow housemates who had mastered the art of staying in our faces. Whether through endorsements, online drama, or mysterious wealth, Rico, he was just chilling. Too calm for Nigeria's wahala. But then, boom, news broke that he had been in a car accident, and suddenly Nigerians remembered him. When Alex Unusual posted about it, social media went wild. People who hadn't thought about Rico in years started digging up his Big Brother Naija clips, praising his calm personality and reminiscing about moments they barely noticed when he was alive. By the time he passed, he had become an overnight sensation, his music streaming, his old videos viral. Even people who had never watched BB Naija were suddenly deeply touched by his passing. If only he could see the love, because in Nigeria, nothing boosts your career quite like death. Odogwu Mara. If only Odogwu Mara knew that death was the ultimate PR package, maybe he would have planned his exit differently. In life, he was that guy, rappy, dance steps, infectious energy, and the kind of vibe that made even strict African parents pause before complaining about all this TikTok nonsense. His short clips had Nigerians glued to their screens, and even people who swore they didn't have his time for social media wahala found themselves watching his videos on loop. As we've seen time and time again, in Nigeria, sometimes your biggest breakthrough happens after you check out of this life. News broke that Odogwu Mara had passed away under circumstances fit for a Nollywood script, allegedly after consuming Indian hemp laced with poison. Just like that, someone that barely had 5,000 likes on a post suddenly became the talk of the internet. Social media went wild, not just with grief, but with debates. Some blamed bad friends, others said it was spiritual attack, and of course, there were those who believed his hyper-speed dance moves were always powered by something more than just vibes and molds. But as tragic as it was, the irony was clear. His death made him popular. And just like that, TikTok accounts that once ignored him started posting his clips. Fans who barely commented before were suddenly organizing online candlelight vigils, and his followers count skyrocketed overnight. Dance challenges in his honor popped up everywhere, with some people even claiming they always knew he was special. It was official. Odogwu Mara had joined the Nigerian Hall of Fame for celebrities whose deaths made them popular. Now, whenever someone mentions his name, it's with a mix of laughter and sadness. His energy lives on in the thousands of reposted clips, the overused "gone too soon" captions, and the occasional auntie warning the younger generation about dancing too much in this life. If only Odogwu Mara had known that the best way to go viral in Nigeria was to actually go, maybe he would have at least left a farewell video for his newfound fans. Chinedu Bernards. Chinedu Bernards Nwankwo, one of Nigerian celebrities whose deaths made them popular, was a Nollywood actress and photographer whose talents shone brightly in the industry. In Nigeria, some people chase fame their whole lives and never quite get it until they die. That was exactly the case with Chinedu Bernards. Before April 2022, she was a talented Nollywood actress and photographer. But let's be honest, she wasn't exactly a household name. Then boom, the moment she passed, she became more famous than she ever was in life. Chinedu had acted in the movies like The Regrets, Big Mama Stick, and Money Fever, but how many people really noticed? It wasn't until news broke that she collapsed while cleaning a church. Yes, a church that Nigerians sat up. Suddenly, her pictures were everywhere. People who had never watched Money Fever started analyzing her roles, and her old photo shoots, especially the lingerie ones, resurfaced like breaking news. She had been working hard for years, but it was death that finally gave her the fame she never fully got while alive. As if the tragedy wasn't enough, when bruises were spotted on her face, wahala burst. The Actors Guild of Nigeria had to step in, demanding an autopsy. WhatsApp detectives, online FBI agents, and social media conspiracy theorists took over, turning her passing into a full-blown mystery. At this point, even people who didn't know her name the day before were suddenly experts on her life. At the end of the day, Chinedu's talents should have brought her the recognition she deserved while she was alive. But in true Nigerian fashion, it was only after she passed that people started celebrating her. It's a sad but familiar script. Another star whose death made her more famous than her life ever did. David Mela. David was one of those Nigerian celebrities who didn't know that fame was waiting for him. On the other side, while he was alive, he was a promising young actor, model, and fashion designer, hustling to make a name for himself in Nollywood. But the moment death came knocking, boom, blocks picked up his name like it was free money, and Nigerians suddenly remembered how talented he was. The Imo State-born actor passed away on January 11, 2021 after battling an undisclosed illness. Before that, he had been complaining about body pains, but you know how Nigerians are. Someone probably told him to drink hot water and salt. Unfortunately, that didn't work, and 2 days later, he was gone. That's when the real show started. His Facebook page turned into a tribute center overnight, with fans who probably never watched his movies flooding the comment section with "Gone too soon" and "This life no balance." Before his passing, David had featured in more than a dozen Nollywood movies, but let's be honest, many people only heard of him after the news of his death started trending. Blogs that never posted about his work while he was alive suddenly couldn't get enough of him. His name was everywhere, and his popularity skyrocketed. But at what cost? In the end, David Mela's story became one of those classic Nigerian tales where death does better PR than life. Kadiri Fubara. Nigerians and their unique way of discovering talent when they are no longer around. Kadiri Fubara was a Nollywood actor who unfortunately became more famous after his death than during his lifetime. Before 2021, you would probably hear his name and say, "Who be that?" But the moment he succumbed to cancer, suddenly he became a household name. Kadiri wasn't exactly in the A-list category when he was alive. Yes, he acted in God Calling in 2018 and The Smart Money Woman in 2021, but let's be honest, many people didn't really take note. It wasn't until The Smart Money Woman finished airing that people started asking, who is this guy? Sadly, just 3 months after the show's release, he passed away. And that's when the Nigerian love for posthumous recognition kicked in. His death practically launched his career into legendary status. Suddenly, everybody was talking about how talented he was, revisiting his movies and typing emotional tributes with "Gone too soon." Hashtags. Nollywood colleagues who probably hadn't worked with him were now celebrating his resilience and artistry. It was like a delayed Nollywood premiere, except this time, the star of the show wasn't there to see it. At this rate, it's safe to say that in Nigeria, if you want to blow, let's not complete that sentence. This is the time to like this video. I did a video about some Nollywood actors and actresses whose fathers are also actors. Click on the video showing on the screen to know which of your favorite Nollywood actors and actresses whose fathers are also actors. Click on it before this video ends, because if this video ends, it will go away. See you in the next video. Bye.